Alright, hey everybody. I am making this video I'm gonna build an auto brewer, because a lot of people, I've joined quite a bit of factions throughout all the servers, around, anymore, and I've made a pretty growingly popular auto brewer that not a lot of people know how to make, because it was originally just a private design that has kind of, leaked into other factions as it continues to be made. I'm gonna just make a tutorial on that because I get asked like all the time, or like people ask me to join their faction just to make it for them, and then I can like leave afterwards. So I'm gonna make the tutorial on how to do it with this video, and ahead of time, looks like I'm getting okay FPS right now. I guess 80 is not bad, but I don't know. Usually rendering is pretty bad on my computer, so I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time for that. And other than that, I guess we'll get right down to it. So. This brewer, it was originally made by Fluffy on HCF, and it kind of just spread out beyond that. Their members like moved to other factions like Passy 999 and stuff, and they just kind of went on, and it got bigger. So it's been known to be pretty good, among everybody that uses it, and it's not hard to make, and it's pretty small considering what you get out of it. So, I guess I'll go ahead and start making it. The first thing you gotta do, or the first thing I normally do, is I'll start off with a timer, which is basically, what it'll be is, it's the thing that moves all the redstone along, to keep the brewer moving at a steady pace. So, the first thing you're gonna want to start with is you're gonna want to, get this redstone lamp here, and so, you want that to be there, and then you want to move over to, this guy. Oh, sorry. And what you want to do is you want to kind of make these all link together. And so you have to make these things. Each one of these things is going to be 5 tiers long, and I'll show you how to make more of them as we go. It's pretty simple. But I'm going to make one for now, and then later in the video I'll show you the rest. So sorry, I'm slow as crap. Alright, so you got that done. Now back to the timer. This is gonna be like the base of the brewer. You're gonna start like that, and then you're gonna work your way up with the brewing stands, and just kind of continue going all the way up to the top until you have the 5 rows again. So it'll be 10 brewing stands per like section here, and get to the top here. And then you build kind of a back portion to it, and then, alright, we'll stop there on the progression of that. Alright, so now we'll go back to the timer. So, on the 4th redstone lamp, you want to place a block there, and then you need to place a hopper, and these things need to be connected, so like it needs to go back and forth, like tied together like that. And then you want to place another quartz block right there. And then, what you're going to have to do, or actually, speaking of quartz, that's not a requirement, obviously. That just kind of makes it look really nice. Same with the redstone lamps. It makes it look nicer as it runs, but it's not really a requirement at all. If you need to make it faster, you don't have this stuff, that's fine. So anyway, so on these blocks, on each side of the hoppers, you're going to place a repeater. Or, sorry, a comparator. And then these 3 are going to make kind of a L shape with it. And you got to make sure they're facing the right way, obviously, because otherwise it's not going to work. So, now for here, what you're going to have to do is, you're going to have a line of redstone that goes off like this like little tail end right here. And then you put a torch right there, and then you put each one of these things going up on like a 3 staircase high collection of that. And that is kind of like what moves along this piston I'm about to place, which is kind of, it's all part of like the timer and like how like the ticks work and stuff with it. So that can be a gravel or a sand block, it doesn't really matter, just something that falls with the piston. So then from here you'll place that, that's a repeater if people are retarded when it comes, or redstone impaired. Um, so then after you place the repeat, you'll place all three of these things. Then the piston going up. Make sure you do that. Sand. And then you do the repeater on another block, and then you go right into this thing, right into the sticky piston, and you place a redstone block on the end of that. Now, from here, you're going to place a block there, a block here, a block here, a block here, a block here, 2 blocks there, and then like that. Alright, so now what we got to do is you have to put a redstone connected to this block, and then you do a repeater, and then redstone, 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 and redstone. So what that does is it makes it so as this timer continues on and it turns this off and so on and this off, this redstone block will go over to the repeater and basically turn this off, which will be juggling snowballs, as you can see, which or you can use ender pearls that because they both stack to 16, and it'll be juggling those back and forth to keep the timer working and going fast. So now from here, what you need to do is place a piston on the right hopper if you're looking at the timer, or not a piston, sorry, a block on the right hopper if you're looking at the timer, a block on top. I mean, not a block, a redstone on top. Sorry, I keep messing up. A torch and a lever. Now you come to here, and you place another torch on that back block, and then this is what kind of controls the redstone, or like when this thing turns on and off, and then this controls like the consistency and makes it so like the piston and the redstone block will separate. So then from here, you gotta get the furnace. And you have to have 42 sticks. It affects the timer, so you have to have exactly 42, and then you have to have 64 of any kind of block that will not be or that will not cook. So you could technically do smooth stone, dirt, wood. Actually, no, I don't know if that would work. But basically anything like that that wouldn't cook itself. I think sandstone would work as well. So anyway, from here, now that timer. Actually, let me put the the snowballs in. So now that is here, let me move that back. So that is completely done now. The timer is completely done. Look nice, compact, runs pots really fast. I mean, it keeps things moving along. Now, if you want, and I suggest you do this because it's really, really convenient and moves along fast, and like I said, doesn't take up very much room, you're going to want to kind of continue this pattern that you have here with... Alright, so then every third block, or you skip 2 and then go to a third, you just keep placing these, and technically you could go on and on and on, but I'm only going to place some of these, because I don't want to spend 30 minutes making this video for repetitive, or in being repetitive. So just kind of go on. Actually, I'm going to stop at this one. But technically, like I said, you just continue this pattern where it goes redstone, and then a comparator, and then you just kind of build it up like that every single time. You can just go on, technically infinitely. So place all these guys right here. And then we're gonna work our way up once again with the lamps. Now break all this. Work our way up with that. And so this basically this is just, like I said, it all works off this timer. You don't have to build individual timers, separate timers, anything like that. It'll just continue to work off that one timer, the very first one you make. It'll work off independently from that one, so there's nothing like big that you have to like do to it all the time. You don't have to make a big ass timer every single time you want to build one of these brewers. So let me break all these and get these synced up with redstone. Sorry, I'm chewing gum. I didn't realize that beforehand. So okay. Alright, now the very last thing you have to do for this for the entire like contraption, other than just filling water bottles and putting ingredients in, is you have to, and this is important because it keeps it from bottles just flowing infinitely through all the way to the bottom. You got to put a line underneath all these last quartz blocks on the top, and then you just put comparators all along here. And what it'll do, it'll basically lock those hoppers right there and stop them from just keep pouring water bottles into there. And so that way, when the timer puts it up and it kind of goes all the way up, it'll turn those hoppers off for a couple seconds, let 3 water bottles go in, and then it'll continue working. And then it'll stop them. It should be a clone of exactly that. And what you'll have is water source and glass bottles. Alright, so we'll just put these guys in there. Now you'll see they'll cycle through. We're only going to put a little bit through. And then they stop in this chest because, like I said, these hoppers are locked. So then what'll happen is you have to everything's ready now. So what you'll do is you'll put like let's just say we want to make health potions. Another word. Glistening. Glowstone. And gunpowder. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Now, let's say you wanted to do this. So you just put, let's see, half in each. And then, now the brewer is completely ready. Obviously, you want to fill these water bottles up to the top. This many chests, if you do 6 double chests and all the hoppers, fill them completely up with water bottles, then you can put a stack of each ingredient in each one, and it'll time out perfectly to run out of water bottles when you run out of ingredients. So you can basically just AFK it. You don't have to do any maintenance to it or anything, mundane and stuff. So this thing's ready. So you'll flip the lever. You'll count to 10, or basically until there's 16 snowballs in there, and then you're gonna break this redstone block for 3 seconds. You break it, and that way it'll get the timer started. So watch, you'll see it. Watch. All right, so 3 of those in there. So they're starting brewing. Before this completely runs out of snowballs in the right hopper, the timer will start over, and then they'll start leaving this hopper and going back to this guy. And then we'll watch it go all the way up. You see those are lighting up as well to move them. It's just obviously not hoppers there. And moves the pots. And you just go all the way down, and then that's where the pots will end. So it'll go straight down after this. And it'll dump right into this chest, and then this hopper kind of locks this chest. And then as soon as the last, these things light off to move them around when they're in this chest, it'll go down, and it'll go automatically to the bottom chest. A lot of people ask for it to be built in their base, so I figured I'd just make a video so I don't have to keep joining factions. And as you see, pots are completely done, didn't have to do a thing about it, and we're out of bottles up here, obviously, so these aren't running anymore, but, yep. And that's basically the finished product. You just take that row and put it here, and here, and here in the video, and I just wanted to make it for anyone out there who liked this brewer and wanted to continue to use it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the brewer.